I'm still trying to take in what Kyriakos said, because Daskalos was quite close to my heart, to my life journey at some point, because my mother studied under him. And you cannot put your hand in a pot of glue or a pot of honey without getting some sticking on you. And I believe Kyriakos, being so close to a master, absorbed quite a lot of that resonance and vibration, and it's in him, and he emanates an aspect of it. So it's a pleasure and an honor, and thank you for the beautiful work you've done, and the influence it's had on me. So we don't take enough time to pause, sink in and connect with ourselves. Our energy and our attention every day, and more as we find more technological advances, becomes more disturbed and more influenced by outside forces. Our energy and attention gets used for purposes other than what we're here to fulfill. So we lose light, we lose energy, we lose attention. And we give it away to many things, people, aspects on the outside. What we need more is connection with others, connection with ourselves. So when Vil was wondering who would want to come to a place like this, I was wondering who wouldn't want to come and see me? But who wouldn't want to be here? Who wouldn't want to connect with others on a deeper level? We all yearn for that. We yearn for that from a young age. The moment we were born, we want connection with the mother. We want connection with the father at a later stage. But what happens, just as what happened to me, we lose connection with ourselves. And when I say that, you feel it, because it's true. We all, at some point in our lives, have lost connection, true connection with who we truly are. And we're looking for ways to come back. And most of our approaches don't bring us back. Because what we need to come back is to slow down and go within and connect and find who we are. So I got busy at a very young age. I've traced it back into the womb of pleasing my mother, making sure she's okay, because my father, a wonderful human being, but he had a lot of aggression. So he took it out on my mother and many others, but that aggression came out. So I grew up with belief systems and paradigms in my mind that were embedded in my mind, in my emotional body, to avoid the aggressive side, avoid being seen, and give to my mother. Don't take from her because she's already exhausted. So I can't be seen. I can't be the center of attention. My mother's too busy. My father, no, I won't disturb him. So where did that leave me? Unseen, emotionally blocked, unexpressed, disconnected. Because if I disconnect to my core emotions, I disconnect from myself. And I grew up living a life disconnected. Smiling, happy, pleasing everyone, being nice, but disconnected. At the moment I've got 50 case studies and not one person is clean. Not one person, every single one is disconnected. So it happens to all of us. There's a reason why it happens. Because suffering is part of the game. It's part of the game of life. And we're trying to create a culture of where suffering is not accepted, suffering shouldn't happen, we avoid it. But it's something we need to learn to embrace, that it's part of our journey. Because we've all been there. It unites us, it connects us. Yes, love connects us also, so does suffering. I'm just thinking Waleed mentioned something about the last mindX. Matheo, you're just too deep, man. What? Just chill. Yeah. Or not too, but maybe I go too deep. And maybe it's necessary. Maybe it's necessary because it's something we all need. So my journey was and still is to find a way back. I find a way back home within myself. Not finding fulfillment or accomplishment or validation in money, in relationships, in people, in food, in drugs, in clubs, in fill in the blank. That's not going to fulfill you. Nothing wrong with having and enjoying and exploring all of that. We're here to experience life. Enjoy it. But really enjoy it. Don't be addicted to something and fulfill the addiction. That's different to enjoying life. So over the years of my journey, I worked on myself. I learned a lot. And I went deep. And I discovered a lot about the human condition, about human behavior, about how we work, about how we operate. And I'd like to share with you a glimpse of a model that was initiated in 2020 and that I use as a process to take people through to find the connection back to themselves. Because we have a question today, and this question is, okay, the untold story of the collective self. We have questions. What is the ego? Who am I? Who am I really? Am I these behaviors? Am I this reaction? Am I this, yes, I am this soul, or I am this collective self that's all harmonious and beautiful. But why can't I connect to it? Why can't I be that all the time? One of the answers is because you're not supposed to. We're here on earth. And on earth we're supposed to differentiate into different aspects of the whole and live that little aspect, because together we create the whole. Together we are the whole. Together we are the whole. You can become whole on your own, great. But we realize that as a humanity we are whole. In our differentiation, then we realize that actually nothing's missing. Everyone has a role to play. Everyone has a place. So I want to just distinguish and differentiate who we are and who we are not. And if you're looking for a direction to find yourself, to find who you are, I want to point you in a direction of where to go. Because many people get lost in doing this and doing that and doing another thing, and it just helps in getting lost if you don't have the right direction. So this is a model I created based on working with people, not based on studying textbooks on how the human brain works, and going through my own process and learning from teachers and masters. But basically on the top you'll find, where's the pointer? That one, okay. So you have on the top your identity. This is who you think you are. Now, that identity has got your personality, your ambitions, your desires, your actions, your behaviors. Now, I say it's who you think you are, it's how you show up in life, who you show to other people. But you might show someone to some people, and then you go home and you show a different self. So who are you? When you make a decision to climb the corporate ladder, who made that decision? Was it a belief, I'm not worthy, and you're trying to prove yourself to be worthy? By climbing the corporate ladder, by achieving a financial goal, by achieving something, who made that decision? Was it your parents, or somehow your father or your mother feeling left out in society, and you trying to bring them back in by including yourself and having a lot of friends? So we have an identity, and what creates our identity from the day you're conceived, you start receiving experiences from your mother and from your father. You're alive, and your consciousness is alive and receiving and recording. I worked with a lady this morning, and what was she recording? Her father complaining to her mother, and her mother feeling worthless, and she took on this worthlessness, and she's trying to achieve some kind of success in a corporate career, and somewhere along the line it's not working anymore, what she's trying to do. So we have early life experiences, beliefs, our unburied emotions, family patterns, and so on, that inform our personality. So we create a persona who we think we are, but we might not necessarily be that person. So unless we remove what is not you, you're going to be thinking that this is you and this is the direction. But why is life not working? Why don't we experience flow, which is natural? Why don't we experience inner joy? Why do we experience constant resistance, constant frustration? Because something's not right. Our computer programming is wrong, or it's faulty, or it's incorrectly programmed based on what we're here to do, to fulfill our purpose. So that's the one part. Who you are is not necessarily you. The next part, in order to go through and clear out what is not you, it takes a hero's journey, and each one of us will undertake a hero's journey at some point in life. We have movies about this. Almost every movie where you have a hero and a villain is based on the schematics of a hero's journey. That you trace the hero's journey throughout all of that. So we need to face our shame, guilt, and fear that we carry inside of us. And it goes quite deep. We need to face a hidden pain that we have. We need to face dissociations or superiority complexes. And I'm not going to go too deep into this right now. There's a full presentation on this. You can get access to it. It's not for now, but I just want to give an overview. We need to face and encounter and be with our emptiness and our loneliness. Not to run away from it, but to be with it And finally, we also need to face our corruptibility. Where am I corruptible in my life? Where do I say no, where I want to say yes? Where do I say yes, where I mean no? And once you face those corruptibilities and those patterns, then you start to find your gold. You start to move in the direction of who you truly are. And that's the essential self. That's the part of you that arrived on this planet pure, who knows what you're here to do, who knows your purpose, who knows where you're going, and who knows who you are. You don't have doubt, you don't have confusion, you don't have anything like that. You know, there's clarity, there's certainty. When you're connected to that part of you, you can start to guide your life by your own decisions, without needing a counselor, without needing anyone. You access the intuition that Kyriakos spoke about. You start to access that intuition. And synchronicities start to happen. So the more you're aligned with that part of you, the more life flows. The more you experience self-love. You don't have to do self-love exercises. You're in the state that is self-love, that is gratitude. You then live according to your true value system. And that is the value system that you're here to fulfill. That's the thing you're here to bring to the world. The moment you were born and you came out of the womb and you went and you took in that split-second breath of life, the entire cosmos was aligned at a specific point in time where your voids and your values, the thing that you're here to fulfill, you took it in at that moment. And you need to undergo certain challenges in your life, overcome them, to be strong enough, capable enough, worthy enough to fulfill your purpose. But when you're connected to that essential self, you know your value system. And you live according to your value system, and that's when you have the greatest level of fulfillment. So, most of the time, we're living in this ego self. Now, the ego self, what is it? It's all of this, and it's all of that. It's parts of you that are not necessarily you. The true self is the essential self. It's you when you accept all the parts of you, all the polarities, the good sides and the bad sides. And when you accept that, you have a freedom to play anywhere in the field of consciousness. And then you realize that you are one, you're part of the one, but you're also an aspect that is individuated to fulfill a specific purpose. So, we'll leave it at that for now.